right to Alex Hogan, who is live in D.C. with the latest on Iran. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. So, U.S. Central Command made this announcement just hours ago, saying American forces carried out strikes this weekend, bombing Iranian radar and drone control sites in Gorak, Iran, and Qasem Island. And according to Central Command, the measured and deliberate strikes occurred on Saturday and Sunday in response to aggressive Iranian actions that included the shootdown of a U.S. MQ-1 drone that was operating over international waters. U.S. fighter aircraft swiftly responded by eliminating Iranian air defenses, a ground control station, and 2 one-way attack drones that pose clear threats to ships transiting regional waters. And now Kuwait says it's intercepting incoming drone and missile fire. That comes as Iran confirmed it carried out retaliatory strikes today, and Iran's Revolutionary Guard today says the source of that is what it calls U.S. attacks on a telecommunication tower. President Trump met with advisors in the Situation Room here at the White House here in Washington on Friday, but had yet to make an announcement over the weekend over how to move forward. Overnight, he posted on Truth Social, writing in part, Iran really wants to make a deal, and it will be a good one for the USA and those that are with us. Both the U.S. and Iran have exchanged strikes since the ceasefire started in early April. It's not clear yet how these strikes will impact the ongoing negotiations to end the war that has now stretched 3 months. Todd, Ashley.
Okay, Alex, thank you. CENTCOM confirming the U.S. military has struck more Iranian targets after the downing of an American drone as the U.S.-Iran ceasefire is once again tested. President Trump commenting on negotiations with Tehran with Fox's Lar Trump.
We're making a great deal. We're going to make a great deal. Other, we'll just go back and finish it off militarily. We're getting what we want slowly. Very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, you know, gasoline prices are going to come tumbling down. But if you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
Joining us today to discuss this is the former Deputy National Security Advisor for VP Cheney, Steve Yates. Steve, thanks for getting up and talking to us about this. You heard Trump just there say he was in no hurry to get a deal done. Do you think this is what the Iranians are kind of banking on? Because before you know it, we're going to be in August and September, then there's some midterms, and we're still left with these high gas prices.
Well, the Iranian regime, the remnants of it, definitely have as part of their strategy playing for time. But the president is exercising a patient approach that I don't think very many of his critics would have assumed he would have in his toolkit. We have maximum pressure from the economic policy side of things, military side of things, and he's tried to move forward with a different kind of diplomatic strategy, making sure that allies in the region are prepared to carry forward what I would consider to be maintenance mode. And I think what we saw over the weekend is a little bit what that maintenance mode would look like. If you have remnants of a regime, when you have a regime that size, its military capabilities are never going to go to zero. But when they act out in ways that challenge freedom of navigation, use the tentacles of terror, or look like they're going back to resume the nuclear program, then they'll be hit by us or an ally to try to keep things on course. So I think that's what the president's gradualism is aimed at. I certainly hope that the Strait is open very, very soon and that the pressure campaign is working. At this point, it's hard to watch from the outside because we just can't have certainty. But I think the correlation of power is the right mix at this point.
You know, Steve, a few different outlets reporting this weekend that, you know, this move is more about specifics of how the U.S. gets the material and the timing, and that's in the reference to enriched uranium. And they're also wanting to amend some of the wording and language around opening the Strait of Hormuz. How important is that?
Well, I think facts on the ground are going to matter much more than the wording of agreements. And that's going to come ultimately by this coalition of power that the president is exercising and basically forcing these things to move forward the right way. We have more time when it comes to trying to deal with the ultimate disposition of this very degraded nuclear program. It's a concern, but it's one of those things that it's much, much more important that we continue to degrade the IRGC, this military capability of Iran, and make sure that is in check. That is sort of the tallest tent pole in the Iranian tent this point. The civilian leadership is degraded. The mullahs, we haven't even had a proof of life out of the new Ayatollah in a while. It's the IRGC that we're trying to influence and contain at this point. I think that has to be mission number one.
You know, we talk a lot about the Strait of Hormuz, and in the news media and politicians, they just assume that the average American knows what those words mean and what they are. But in all reality, they don't. So paint us a picture, if you could quickly, of if we don't have a deal made by September, August, around that time, what the next year could look like for us here in America.
Well, the Strait of Hormuz is a faraway place. People can be excused for not thinking about it, but it's a very narrow passage where a high percentage of oil, natural gas, and other commodities will transit. It tends to feed world markets. That matters to Americans, even though we have an abundance. If world prices are high, then the abundance we have will get sold to those international markets. That's the way free markets are going to work, and that means prices can still be high for us. But ultimately, I think if the president gets the right allies, our Arab allies and others, to step in and execute on what maintenance needs to look like in this region, that frees America up to focus on our prosperity, other challenges around the world, say a revisionist China trying to challenge us on economic competition and national security challenges in the Indo-Pacific.
You know, and then there's also the question, just because Tehran agrees to this and Iran agrees to this, who's to say they're even going to stick to it?
My assumption is that they won't, and that's why I think that the coalition of power has to remain in place. We can change what the balance of that is in terms of the expense and the presence of America, but the United States, under President Trump's leadership, has proven that we can come from this side of the world and strike decisively targets anywhere in the world without them knowing we're coming or going. And if we arm and work with our other allies, they have the capability to take better care of their neighborhood. I think we're getting close to that mix. I think the last piece of this has to be the insurers. That's where the financial part of the world has to make it affordable for the shippers to take the necessary risk to actually move their cargo. That has been, I think, a missing link in the last couple of months. It has to happen soon.
Okay. Steve Yates, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.